Major developments are shaking the crypto market. Former President Donald Trump has finalized a trade agreement with China, an announcement that could have significant implications for global financial markets, including cryptocurrencies. This news just broke and is already beginning to move the markets. Today, we'll go over the latest updates on XRP, Hedera, HBAR, Ethereum, and a broader crypto recovery that's underway. Let's begin with the current market snapshot. XRP is holding steady at $2.32. Ethereum continues to show strength at $2,800. Bitcoin remains above $109,500, and the overall crypto market is showing signs of recovery. XLM is trading at 28 cents, while Hedera HBAR is slightly down at 18 cents, with a very minor minus 0.65% correction. We'll explore why HBAR is lagging slightly behind the broader market, despite the positive momentum. The crypto market is reacting quickly to global political events. The trade deal between the United States and China has now been finalized. This comes after months of negotiations and tension, with the final talks held over 2 days in London. Both countries have agreed on the key terms, and this marks one of the most significant trade deals in U.S. history. The agreement is expected to boost both economies and inject renewed optimism into global markets. And historically, when global markets stabilize, crypto markets follow. Investors regain confidence, liquidity returns, and risk appetite increases. That's why today's trade deal news is especially relevant for crypto. Now let's move to a major story impacting XRP. Bloomberg is now reporting that there's an 85% chance that an XRP spot ETF will be approved. Multiple applications have been filed by some of the biggest names in asset management: Grayscale, Bitwise, Canary, 21 Shares, WisdomTree, CoinShares, Franklin Templeton, and others. An XRP ETF would represent a historic milestone for the token, offering mainstream investors direct exposure through regulated markets. This is not just about legitimacy. It's about unlocking institutional capital. An XRP ETF could open the door for billions of dollars in inflows, enhance liquidity, and push the token into a new category of financial recognition. Meanwhile, June 16th marks the deadline for the SEC to submit its latest filing to the U.S. Court of Appeals in the ongoing Ripple case. But that's not all. Congressman William Timmons has now formally requested all documents related to the SEC's inconsistent treatment of Ethereum under Gary Gensler and the Biden administration, a development being dubbed EthereumGate. Why was Ethereum given a regulatory pass, while XRP was sued? That's the core of the investigation. In 2018, the SEC stated that Ethereum was not a security. But in 2023, when asked again, the SEC avoided answering. Now in 2025, pressure is mounting for transparency. The U.S. Congress is demanding answers. The request was made in a formal document dated June 10th, asking the SEC to provide internal records explaining why Ethereum was given favorable treatment compared to XRP. This could be the start of a broader reckoning, and potentially the beginning of Ethereum's regulatory downfall. If Ethereum is found to have received unfair treatment, or if legal action follows, it could impact thousands of projects built on its blockchain. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has previously predicted that 99% of digital assets could disappear. And this might be the event that triggers that collapse. A regulatory crackdown on Ethereum could result in collateral damage across Layer 2s and DeFi projects that depend on it. This could be a black swan moment for the entire industry. Now shifting to Hedera HBAR. The SEC has delayed its decision on Canary Capital's HBAR ETF application. This delay is raising questions about the broader pace of ETF approvals. It's worth noting that Hedera is not currently under any SEC lawsuit, unlike XRP. Yet its ETF decision was still pushed back. This suggests that the SEC's caution around ETFs may not be solely linked to legal proceedings. Instead, we may be seeing a more systemic delay across all crypto-related ETF proposals. That said, many analysts still believe we'll see spot ETF approval for XRP and other assets in the second half of this year. The market is anticipating a domino effect. Once the first spot XRP ETF is approved, others will likely follow. This could serve as a turning point for institutional adoption, not only for XRP, but for the entire crypto asset class. In summary, here's what's happening. Trump finalizes a historic trade deal with China, boosting global markets. XRP holds steady at $2.32 amid a broader crypto recovery. Ethereum and Bitcoin remain strong at $2,800 and $109K. Bloomberg gives XRP an 85% chance of ETF approval. U.S. Congress is launching an inquiry into Ethereum's regulatory treatment. The Ripple SEC case continues, with a critical filing due June 16. BAR ETF approval is delayed by the SEC, despite no legal action. This is one of the most dynamic and critical moments for the crypto space. With regulatory shifts, geopolitical developments, and institutional products on the horizon, XRP remains one of the most closely watched tokens in the market. That wraps up today's update. If you'd like a video analyzing XRP's price action in detail, leave a comment below and let us know.